Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to another PUBG video. It's been a year since we made the previous guide, and a lot has changed in the game since then. People keep asking for my Sens, which I will share at the end of the video, but I'm here today to show you an advanced way that allows you to configure the best sensitivity that suits your playstyle. The previous guide went crazy with 41k views. I'm convinced this is better and more advanced. It's a little long, I included timestamps for you, so please leave a like. If you find it useful, it will help a ton. Anyway, let's jump right to it. Alright, we're gonna start from scratch. We're gonna reset all of our sensitivity settings. I'm not gonna mess with the drift or the dead zones because it really depends on your controller and how much drift does your controller have. I'm just gonna keep them at 0. The simple test you can do is you can open your map. If the crosshair moves by itself, then you have some stick drift in your stick. You can increase the dead zone. But for the time being, I'm fine with my drift in my controller. I'm going to leave them at 0. I prefer to have full control. The forward running sensitivity, I like it at 0. It allows you to move or strafe left and right with a simple or minimal movement in your left stick. Why do I like to keep it at 0? It's because of this new SMG meta. People are strafing left and right. If I want to hip fire my SMG, I want to be able to strafe left and right super quick. Here's if you max it though, you're not going to be able to move left and right very quick. See, this is the same controller input that I'm doing. I'm not moving left and right super quick. So I just prefer to keep it at 0, just simply because I want to be able to strafe left and right super quick. Now, the movement sensitivity, I like to max it out. It's very simple. It's not a big deal. But if you have it like at 100 with a minimal input to your left stick, you're going to be able to start walking and then running. If you want to sprint, you can also easily sprint. But if you just want to walk, with a minimal touch to your left stick, you're going to start walking. Now, if you set it to 0, though, I'm going to show you. This is how you walk with a minimal input. I don't really need that in my game, really. I just want to start walking as soon as I touch my left stick. Now, I'm going to put it back to 100. Now, the vertical sensitivity multiplier, I like it as minimal as possible because I believe it creates horizontal recoil. And it's a setting that affects all scopes in addition to the general sensitivity. You see, if you set it to 50, it's harder to look up and down compared to left and right because you're applying a 0.5 multiplier to your general sensitivity or the scopes. This is a hot take. I understand this setting helps a lot with people struggling with vertical recoil, but I don't struggle with vertical recoil. I care more about horizontal recoil. I'm going to go over this setting a lot during this video, so don't worry, I'll explain everything. Now, for the general sensitivity, my starting point will be 20, and I have 2 tests to find out what is the best general sensitivity for me. The first one is grab your SMG and try to walk in circles around your target. You need to try as much as possible to keep your crosshair on your target. You're gonna struggle with 20. That's fine. That's the second test. Try to keep your crosshair on a moving target and try to switch as quick as possible. No shooting. Yeah. See, I'm dragging too much, so 20 is a little too high. I'm gonna decrease it. I'm used to high sense, so you might need to decrease it by a lot. I'm just gonna decrease it by 1 and try again. I'm still dragging. See, I'm still dragging my crosshair to keep it on the target when I walk in circles around it. Now, with a moving target, it's easy. Why are we doing this test? See how quickly I was able to track him when the dummy just moved. Now I'm struggling a little bit, and then now I struggled a lot, well, because I got stuck. Why are we doing these? Because if you want to hip fire or pre-aim, that's very important. If you don't like hip firing SMGs, that's fine, because you need to pre-aim if you're using scopes. See, I'm able to track him, so I'm able to pre-aim, and I'm able to, if I want, just go in my scope and shoot him. That's exactly what you need. As soon as the dummy switches, and then you can do it from further, like from far away. You can see. You need to be able to track. You need to be able to keep your crosshair on your target without struggling. Now, keep doing that until you get the best number for you. I think 18.5 perfectly for me because I'm used to high sense. Now try to switch your target from one to the other and it should be very smooth. See, this is where the forward running sensitivity and the movement sensitivity, the combination of these three will allow you to track targets very easily. Now, with the vehicle driver sensitivity, I just keep it at 11. I'm used to it. Aim acceleration, turn it off. Do not ever turn it on. It's gonna throw you off. Over the shoulder, I keep it the same as the general. Whatever my general is, my over the shoulder. I don't use it that much. I prefer to hip fire, but still, even if I want to use it, I want consistency. Inventory, cursor sensitivity, I just keep it at 10. I like to loot fast. Now, moving to the 1x, I don't want to use a comp. I want to use a flash hider. And just choose whatever grip you want on your guns and get 2 ARs, okay? So for the starting point, it should be the same as the general sense. That's the starting point. And then we're going to start testing. We have 4 tests to do. First one is close range, like this dummy, close range on a slowly moving target. I should be able to hit all my shots as headshots. If you're not hitting all your shots as headshots without crouching from this distance, your sense is not it. It's not it for you. It's not only about recoil control, it's also about tracking. And this is the first exercise out of 4. It's the most basic one. You keep decreasing your sensitivity until you hit all your shots are headshots without a comp, without crouching. If you're satisfied, then move to the second test or exercise. Now, the dummy is still from close range, but it's moving faster. Again, don't crouch and all your shots should be headshots. If not, decrease your sensitivity a little bit more or change it up a bit. 12 is working okay for me for the second test. I believe I can do better, but I want to test 12 on the third test. See, third test is basically just the same one, but from further away. I'm doing okay, but you can start seeing the limitations of the 12 Sens. Now the fourth test, you can crouch here. It's the 50-meter distance, which is kind of a typical mid-range, right? You can see that I'm missing a lot of shots, and you can see that I'm getting the kill, right? If that was an enemy, I would kill him, but I would kill him 50% of the time, right? What if that exact moment I miss? So I'm gonna search for perfection here. I want to hit more shots so that the enemy doesn't have any chance to escape. So 11, still missing. That's better towards the end. You need to give it a couple tries because when you switch your sensitivity, you need to give your brain a chance to adjust, right? So it's better, still missing, but it's becoming better. I'm gonna give it one last try. I'm getting the kill, but I'm not very consistent. That is very consistent towards the end. So still, it's not perfect. You need to try more, a little bit more. I'm gonna go crazy here a little bit. I'm gonna go down by 2. Let's test 9 and see. I'm gonna also test the 4th test. Doing better. Ooh, that was way better at the end. I'm just gonna give it another try to see if still crouching, by the way. Still missing. Body shots, not great. I'm gonna give it another try. Oh, that is perfect. I could never have done this on the 12 Sens. Or maybe 11, I could do it on the 11. Now let's go back in the test. Let me test the third one. While standing, it's good. Let me see. Oh, that's perfect. That is perfect. Okay. See, I'm gonna go back to the second test. Now the problem that I noticed in the second test with the close range, the limitation, is the struggle when they switch direction. It's a little bit tough to keep up if they switch direction. See, if they keep moving in one direction, it's perfect. You hit all your shots, even standing, you don't need... yeah. But then when they switch, it's hard to track them back, right? So here's where you need to adjust your playstyle a little bit if you want to play low sense. You need to stop ADSing, ADS again, and then track, because your general sense is high. It will allow you to catch up because your general sense is high. I mean, we wanted high general sense for a specific purpose. Now the 2x is exactly the same as the 1x. Your starting point should be the 1x because the use of the 2x in the game is like the 1x. You're gonna do the same exercises and then start tweaking it a little bit. Now I want to talk about the general sensitivity multiplier for a second here. The aim of the high general sensitivity is because of the meta, the SMG meta, is for you to be able to look around very fast, to turn very fast left and right. If you have a high vertical sensitivity multiplier, you You won't be able to turn left and right very quickly without turning left up or left down, or right up, right down very quickly, especially if your vertical sensitivity multiplier is above 100. So we want to keep it very consistent, so when you turn left and right, you turn only left and right very quickly. That's the implication on the general sense. Now, the implication on the scopes can be easily seen with the 3x. The starting point of the 3x should be the general sense, and the test is from 50-meter mark. You're going to crouch, you're going to try to scope spray the dummy, you're going to hit headshots. If you're not hitting your headshots, you need to tweak it. Now here's where a low vertical sensitivity multiplier plays a huge part. Let's say you're just controlling the recoil. If you have a high vertical sensitivity multiplier, what you're going to do is you're going to pull your right stick down. You don't have to pull it down too much because you have a high vertical sensitivity multiplier. The problem with that is when the target is moving, like this one. When you control the recoil, you pull your right stick down and then you stabilize it, you balance it, you keep it there until your mag is empty. With a moving target, what you want to do is pull it down, stabilize it, and then move it left and right to track your target. If you have a high vertical sensitivity multiplier, you don't have to pull too much down. The problem is when you try to pull left or right to track, your high rate on the vertical sensitivity multiplier will be very sensitive to any movement on your right stick. So it's gonna ruin your balance. Here's where a low vertical sensitivity multiplier comes in play. You pull down hard at the beginning to compensate for the low sensitivity multiplier, but then when you stabilize it, you own it. Your right stick is not gonna be very sensitive to any up and down movements, and then all you're going to do now is basically track left and right. This right here, an advanced test from 100 meters away. You don't have to hit all your shots as headshots. You just need to make sure that you're getting a kill. And this is, by the way, after I removed the flash hider. So that is like an extreme mode. Now, another test is to go for the barrel, 6x barrel, keeping the flash hider, crouch, try to identify a target, and then try to get a kill. There you go. Hit 4 or 5 times, that's a kill. That's all I care about. That's all what you're going to be caring about in the middle of a gunfight. From that, especially from that kind of distance, 100 meters and above, around 100 meters, all you care about is to get the kill if you're scope spraying. Now, moving to the 4x, we're just going to do the same thing. The starting point is your general sensitivities. 4x sprays are harder than 3x sprays, so we're probably going to have a higher sensitivity on the 4x sprays. Starting from the general sense, we're going to start with, again, 50 meters, crouch, try to hit all your shots as headshots. That's pretty good, but I'm still going like a zigzag, up and down, up and down. You want to make sure that you're hitting headshots, so you're very stable. There you go. That's good. I think I need to lower it just a tiny bit. Yeah, just a tiny bit. Crouch from 50 meters away. And here your main goal is to hit headshots. And not to just get the kill, because when you move up to 100 meter sprays, if you don't get 100% head, or like most of the shots as headshots here, you're gonna miss your 100 meter sprays for sure. So here, it's not enough to get the kill. It's important to get all headshots so that. Oh wait, that's perfect. That is perfect. I think that's the perfect number for me. That's a very consistent headshots. 18.4. You're gonna notice that the 4x will be higher than the 3x Sens. Now to confirm this, we're gonna go to 100 meter spray. Here, it's just enough to get the kill because you're rarely going to spray your AUG or whatever scope spraying from a 200 meter away. So at 100 meter mark, it's enough to get the kill. That's all that you need. This is perfect. Now, the reason why I have a very high sense on the 4x is because I want to secure kills from 100 meter away. That's one. And two, I only use the 4x for my scope spraying. I rarely use it for a sniper or a DMR. And three is my very low vertical sensitivity multiplier. Now, the next level test that we can do is take the barrel and try to secure a kill from 100 meters away. I'm struggling a little bit, but honestly, as long as I get the kill, that's more than enough for me. Now, for the 6x, your starting point will be in between the 4x and the 1x. 1x would be on the lower end. 4x is the highest sensitivity that you'll have because of scope spraying. I'm going to start with 15. The test here is to take the 100 meter mark, start there, take a DMR, try to track and hit consistent headshots. Your scope speed in terms of tracking should be linear to the speed of the dummy itself while maintaining the headshots. And as soon as the dummy changes direction, you should be able to change direction with it, and your tracking should be still perfect. 16 is a little fast for me. I'm gonna decrease it a little bit. And I'm gonna give it a couple tries. Oh, that's perfect. Like 4 or 5 headshots in a row is just perfect. I'm gonna mess around with it a little bit. I'm gonna decrease it to 15 and see. Give it a couple tries and keep testing. See if the dummy is gonna turn now, and I'm able to quickly turn with it and keep tracking it like as well as I could. Now, the main difference between this guide and the guide from the previous year when it comes to DMRs is that we did focus a lot on rapid firing the DMR while controlling the recoil. Here, it's easier to control the recoil because of the fire rate. Oh, that's perfect. I think that was 5 headshots in a row. So here, the focus is more on tracking rather than recoil control. Now, the second test is sniping, right? You want to be able to keep that tracking speed without dragging, because that can ensure that you're leading correctly. There you go, hitting headshots. Hit 3 out of 5 with a Car 98, and you're doing well. Hit 5 out of 5, that would be even better, right? This is where you know that you're doing well. Now, for the AX, similar story. Your starting point should be your 6x Sens, because why change something that is already working? We're gonna tweak it a little bit, but we're gonna run the same testing. We're gonna take a sniper, 100-meter mark. I need to change it. Yeah. 100-meter mark, try to track the dummy. There you go, that's a good headshot. Now, you might run into a leading issue where you don't know by how much you need to lead the dummy, but that comes with practice. Just grab a gun that you're used to and try to lead your shots with it. Leading is a different issue than sensitivity. It's not really related, as long as you can track smoothly. 15.8 wasn't bad, but I think I could use a higher sensitivity just to be able to track the speed of the dummies, and to be able to take that quick scope where you make a last fraction of a second adjustment, you know, like a drag shot where you get into your scope and then try to quickly drag it and take the shot, and you modify your aim at the last fraction. You can aim with that. That comes with experience, of course. Again, we're gonna switch to a DMR and try to hit consistent headshots in a row, which means that you are able to control the recoil, not just a random headshot here and there, while tracking your enemy. Now, here's a summary of all my sensitivity settings that we just set together. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I will see you all in the next one.